Being a very good friend, I have not told his kids that he gets all of his jokes from other people. I assume they know.
Are we going to break it on the podcast?
They don't fucking write their jokes.
That's rude. You don't think your kids are creative enough to make their own jokes?
They don't write their own
Let's
jokes.
talk about on this edition of Bar Talk.
Although Jesse found the Instagram account because I sent her a joke, and she's like, "Do you follow this Instagram account?" I'm like, "Fuck."
And by do you, she knows because she can see the mutual followers.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Are we doing this now?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
What, are we doing this?
I don't know.
Are we really here? Is
Might
this,
have
is
a
this real life
simulation.
or is this just fantasy?
It's a simulation.
We all just got our wisdom teeth out.
We're just 4 high kids in the back of a car.
Ooh. I got my van.
I know. It's not.
Oh, we saw it.
I got the van.
Yeah.
I didn't have it for 3 months.
You were down like what, like a
I was driving my
unicycle or
motorcycle.
something?
That was it.
What's it like when you're parked out front here getting ready to come in and people from across the street just start coming over in
I
their
had to park
pajamas
next to the
asking for a
Yellow
ride?
Deli van yesterday or the other day, and I was like, ooh, man, I don't know if I want to park next to this guy, but it's the only space open.
They accidentally jump in yours. Come
All
up
of a sudden, I come out, it's painted yellow. I'm like, fuck.
There's a new decal on it.
They're like, we own this now, and you're like,
You're like-
ah, fuck, they do somehow.
Like, wait, do you own me too now? No, I'm too old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want you anymore.
Yeah, no. I passed the
Hands are too
height
big,
and
you can't
age
fit
limit.
into- Yeah.
Yeah, if we want, we can all go smoke in the back of the van. Smoke them if you
Are
good.
you waiting for us to stop talking about this so you can start recording?
No,
it's
we're
already
recording.
going.
Oh, okay. It looked like you were pausing on it. I was like, I'll stop.
Welcome back to Bar Talk. This is Andy, and apparently we're all going to go get high in Jess's van.
Yeah, and join a cult.
To be fair,
Let's start our
Matt's
own.
van.
We should
I'm
start
not
our
being
own cult.
associated with this.
I feel like I've
I
already
feel like
tried.
the industry is already a cult.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's just too disorganized to be a cult.
Yeah, well,
It's easier to leave a cult than the industry.
that.
Well, there's
That is
no
fair.
service industry like reprogramming groups going on. So I mean, that's kind of the problem.
There is. It's called rehab.
Yeah, it's actually right down the street.
Yeah.
Those
In
other.
the heart of where all the fucking bars are. It's right down the street.
Like rehab, the success rates for leaving
Yeah.
the industry is very low.
Exactly.
The other voices you hear are Jess Hamill of New World Tavern,
Hello.
Dan Mahoney of Stats from Boston,
Hello.
South Boston, of Boston, South Boston,
That's all. One place.
and Fish is here today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like the first time in
since
months.
my last vacation.
Yeah,
You on vacation now?
Yeah.
What a way to spend it.
I know, right? He's like, "Can we all get together so I can see people?"
No, it's you guys haven't recorded in like a month, and we need an episode. So.
That's not our fault.
No, I'm blaming Andy
Yeah, we all should
Yeah.
blame Andy.
because I think you all were here except for him last week.
No,
Well,
I've been here for the last 2
That's not
Mondays.
true.
You work here, Jess.
But I'm not usually here on Mondays anymore. So, I'm just saying.
I don't leave my
Actually,
house until
last
I get a
week-
confirmation. But I was ready to go.
Yeah.
Last
You were?
last
Yeah.
Monday,
and
I
we
actually
moved the
kinda,
office, and the equipment isn't 5 seconds up the street anymore.
Where's the office now? Give us the
Middleborough.
address. Middleborough.
Yeah,
What? That's
It's in the
stupid.
middle of
Why?
nowhere.
It's-
Because it's Middleborough.
Right. It's also centrally located 495, 24, 44.
All
We
the
didn't
worst
ask
highways.
for a good reason.
Well, you said it's stupid, and it's not because it's right where we
Those
need it to
highways
be.
are stupid.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That rotary sucks.
Well, that rotary does suck. That's
Yep.
Or for those not in New England, it's a roundabout.
It's a big circle.
Yeah. And no one knows how to fucking drive.
Yeah.
And I got 2 right near my house.
And then
Have
they
you
add
noticed-
extra lanes, and it makes it worse.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
painted more lanes and instructions that make zero sense.
Yeah.
Like the signs getting on those look like they're written in like ancient Egyptian.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, what does this mean?
So let's talk about fistfights, Dan. Have you been in a fist fight recently?
I haven't been in one,
I
but
haven't been in a fish. Have you been in a fist fight recently?
I mean, not lately, but it sounds like a lot of fun.
yeah. Jess?
I wasn't in a fist
That's
fight.
not what I heard.
Ooh,
I broke up.
That
a
sounds like
fist
loser
fight.
talk, Jess.
And I had
I wasn't in a fist fight is what you say when you have
To
a
be
black eye
fair-
and don't want people to know how.
to defend Jess as the bystander I got on, she cleared that fucking room out. Like those 4 guys had no fucking chance.
yeah. I mean, look, I feel really bad
Do you though?
All the laughter is
only because the door guy that was working that night, it was his very first night, and he's just a fill-in. So like, he didn't really know what to do in this scenario, and Killian was out back. Once we found out that there was a scuffle going on, I immediately ran over to break them up. She immediately ran over to come and get the door guy, and he just kind of like moseyed on back. And she's like pushing me, like, "Nah, man, you got to move faster than that. Like, this is bad." And shirts were ripped off, shoes went flying.
Yeah.
I couldn't. And even though I'd been out, me and Mahoney went out for like a little bit before we came here, and I didn't really have that much to drink, so I felt confident in putting myself in that situation. But in the whole time I'm running over there, I'm like, this is a bad idea, this is a bad idea, this is a bad idea. But I couldn't just stand by and let it happen. Like, as a manager of here, like, I can't be like, oh, that sucks. Just keep chugging my drink. Like, you know what I mean?
Sorry,
like,
guys, I'm off the clock. You're on your own.
Right. So I was like, all right. So I got in between the two, because there was other guys that were like trying to break it up, and they were like not doing anything.
Well, they were all friends. Like, so it was like,
one of them didn't even have a friend. That was the one that I kicked out that had the ripped up shirt. As far as I knew.
No, they definitely did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't tell. But his friends fucking were clearly.
They were all terrible people.
Yeah.
They ruined a great band night.
Yeah, they definitely did, because right at the end of that, it was like, they probably had like, 10 minutes left to play?
Yeah, if that.
And they were like, you know what, we're just going to call it.
Yeah.
So it like kind of like did really ruined the vibe. Because after that, they were like, all right, we're done.
It's hard to recoup in 10. Like, it was halfway. Like, we can pull this back together.
Yeah.
Then like 10 minutes, you'd be like,
To be like, I've done that like without a band in my job. Like, I bring them fight. I'm like, I'm fucking done. Like, lights on, music off, TV's off. Like, because the vibes are just so off in your room. Like, it's just not worth it. Like,
yeah. And like, it wasn't.
Do you know
like
what started it?
Yes, I supposedly. So the guy that I physically manhandled and brought out the front of the building with barely a shirt on, he said that he was fighting the dude because the other guy was supposedly grabbing women's asses. Now, looking back on the footage, because there's footage, there was really nobody around that area, especially women.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, most of the women in there were like in their 50s and 60s. It was an 80s
And that's
band.
being generous.
So, yes. So like, not to say that it didn't happen. I just don't see that it had happened. And maybe it was somebody that he knew and he misunderstood. I don't know. But the guy was like, I'm the one that's trying to, this guy's brains grabbing asses. I'm trying to be the hero here. And I'm like, by fighting somebody? It's like, no. It was like, we have a door guy that could have fucking kicked the guy out. Like, whatever. I was like arguing about front. Why am I getting kicked out and he's not? I'm like, nah, don't worry, bro. He's about to follow you. So don't worry. Like, so he supposedly thought that this guy was grabbing people's asses. Did it happen? I have no idea. But there is footage, and I did watch it, and I didn't see anything weird.
It looked like the typical drunk dudes dancing and bumping into each other, and then them getting mad.
Yeah.
And,
now,
those four guys, the two different groups, those twosomes.
Yep.
They were both awful. Like, that's something. We were sitting at the bar. I was talking to Kelly, and I was like, look at these two heroin bros right there. Like, that's what two of them look like.
Like, this was like before.
Yeah. Right before any of this happened, they caught our attention by just how retarded they were looking.
Those two,
and
acting.
Then
the other two like did a wrestling entrance walking in, like filming each other. I was like, who the fuck
was a
are
guy
these
filming each other?
Yeah.
So there was a guy, I think that was the one that was supposedly grabbing ass. So his buddy was standing on the chairs that are up against the wall. He was standing up so he could get like an aerial view of this guy walking into the room. And they did it twice.
Yeah, because then they went from the ground view too.
Yeah.
Like, he like crouched down, was on his knee, like I was like, dude.
Yeah.
What is
Wait, how old?
They were probably in their 30s. I'd say they were about our age. Yeah.
That is
So like he like had made an entrance. He's like walking in like this, like he owned the room. And so we were like, wow, those guys look like idiots. And then I didn't see the other guy come in.
The heroin bros?
Yeah.
I just, when they walked up to the bar.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah,
sit there, I'm like, dude.
Yeah. So like
What
they
train tracks
already
did you come over?
And they probably were in the room for what? 15 minutes?
Probably. I mean, we weren't there that long.
We weren't there that long. We were probably there for a half hour.
Yeah.
So, if anybody needs a door guy, apparently I can kick some ass.
It was fun. I'm standing there. I was like, I've been drinking. I'm like, I don't know if I'm really supposed to be involved in this. But then, like, Jess
just like, hold my beer.
She had been drinking less because she worked that night. So, like, I've been out since like 6 in the afternoon. Or whatever. But I'm like,
was that the bar crawl day?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I missed that. I was just like, I'm wiped out.
But it was like a very tame bar crawl, so it wasn't like like a normal bar crawl. I would be the guy fucking film my own.
They'd be like, film me.
Yeah. Ironically enough.
Well, it's like after that, like I can't just not help. So like I just grabbed the guy and fucking checked him up. I was like, this is enough.
I like to break them up, like, because I was trying to push them up, like, but they were just going fucking ham on each other, and so I grabbed the dude's face, because if you grab somebody's face, they're like, what the fuck is this? So I grabbed his face, and then I accidentally quote unquote accidentally grabbed his throat and like pinned him up against the wall.
No joke, Jess looked like she played for the Patriots and fucking cleared that up.
And I was like, cut the fucking shit. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I pushed them out.
The band's like,
yeah, no, literally. So we were standing at the bar, and ironically enough, we were just about to take a shot.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice, but the band had was trying to get our attention.
But even because it was going on for a little longer before they made their big thing, because we watched the video, obviously.
Yeah.
And they were just in the perfect far away corner of that.
It was dark on that side of the room. It was the right side of the room. So
kind of near the stage, but off to the side.
It's really dark.
And the band's very quiet, like, there's a fight. And we're like, dude, is this the song? You're playing songs.
There's a fight in the corner, Jess.
And then eventually they
someone do something real quick.
They stopped the whole, because she noticed that she wasn't getting anybody's attention. So she said, guys, I need you to stop. I need you to stop. And then a woman came up to the bar and was like, hey, there's a fight over there. And I was like, oh.
And then it erupted all the way into us.
Yep. So.
And Jess was like, I'll show you a wrestling entrance.
Yeah.
Elbow off the stage.
Yeah.
Stone Cold stunned 10 of them.
Yeah.
I will say it made my friends that were out there for their birthday party made their night, because they have a 3-year-old at home. So they don't
I can't believe you planned
out.
This for us.
Yeah. They don't get to see much excitement.
Yeah.
They're breaking up kid fights and stuff like that.
I know.
I was like, I don't know, this is another day in the life of being at a bar.
That shit can turn on a dime.
It did.
Yeah.
It really, really, really did. All of a sudden, everyone's dancing and having a good time, and then in a matter of 2 seconds.
There's times you can read the room and you can just feel it. I'm like, dude, and I've had to deal with those. I'm like, dude, someone's fighting each other. And you can kind of see, pick a pocket and you can jet the general area. There was no
nothing.
Nope. Because everyone was 100 years old in this room except for these 4 people.
Yeah. Literally.
One guy looked like Joe Biden.
That's a fact.
That's why he retired, because he's like, dude, I've seen it all.
And then I felt bad because the sound guy that was working, he also jumped in. Because he was like, if it wasn't you, he's like, I would have maybe, because that's not really my job. And he's kind of quiet. And I was like, nah, dude, you never have to do that. Don't think that, he's like, I know, but it was you. And he's like, and I really like you. And I didn't like it. I didn't want you to get hurt. I was like, bro, you would have gotten hurt. I would have gotten hurt.
Jess is putting away her brass knuckles, being like, I appreciate the sentiment, I guess.
Just don't step on that broken bottle I hit that guy with.
Yeah. So, I mean, and look, that's the first, full-blown fist fight, I think, that I've experienced here. And I've worked here for almost 4 years.
I saw one guy, I wouldn't say it was a fist fight.
I mean,
escorted out.
There's definitely been times when people are they start to get a little, they may be pushy.
But this guy was
whatever.
I can't remember who was playing back there, but it was kind of a metal band or something.
We did have a serial puncher.
Yeah.
Was it that guy?
That was that guy.
It was that guy. But
so I can't call it a fight because everyone else was like, what the fuck is going on?
That's what it was. It's everyone else in the room didn't engage.
Yeah.
But he was walked up to people and just fucking punched them in the face for no reason.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily even call that a fight.
No,
that was
I
just
wouldn't.
a guy
it was
on
insane.
a fucking going, he took bath salts and fucking went wild. So I wouldn't say that that's a fist fight. That was more of he just was going crazy. And luckily, no one engaged and no one continued the fight.
And your bouncer got him out quick.
Yes. And he is very, very, this is our full-time door guy. He's super nice. And he's kind of big and he's
You didn't
tall.
seem nice to him that night.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I was happy that he could turn on a dime and be like, "What the fuck?" And like he told me, he's like, I had him in a headlock. I looked at the cameras in the front as he's like bringing him out.
He brought him
like,
out and basically dumped him at the end of the bar.
Scary, like, but good.
Yeah, that's kind of what you need, though.
But the guy's like crawling on his hands and knees out. He's like, "Get up, move fucking faster."
That's awesome.
But that's what you need.
Yeah.
You need somebody at the door that's like nice and like does whatever when he needs to. But when
Dalton.
You
need Dalton. You be nice until it's time not to be nice.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's even asked me, he's like, at what point is it okay
for me to kill someone?
For me to put my hands on somebody else? I was like, when they put their hands on you.
Yeah.
And because I think there was another night where somebody was starting to get pushy, and so I was already, I think it was bartending out back, and like I broke it up, and he kind of asked, he's like, I guess I should ask you, like, when do I get physically involved? And I was like, I was back there, so it was fine, but like if we weren't there, Killian wouldn't have known what to do, and nor should she have to do anything.
Shit out of them.
Well, she'd be like, they're not in a McDonald's drive-thru. I don't know what to do.
Killian would have locked that door and no one's coming out.
But like, and nor do I expect anybody to do that. That's why we have door people. That's why we have bouncers. That's why we have those systems in place. I don't expect Killian to jump in and break things up. But if I wasn't there, I mean,
it's tough for your door guy because he's all the way up here and that's all the way back, and but it's a soundproof room. So And the
thing is like, I think a couple people have mentioned before, they're like, I'm surprised you don't have like bouncers in the back room. I go, because again, this is the first like fist fight that we've had in the 4 years that I've been here, and a little pushing and shoving and people getting like, that's what managers are for, to like get it broken up before it gets escalated.
And that's, I mean, that's kind of one of the arts to the job is like getting someone out without making it worse.
That's the goal. Like, you don't want to have to drag them out. You want to just be like, yo, let's go.
But that, I mean, when that happened on that night, it literally was like,
because you want to pay their tab on the way out too.
Honestly though, like
waving like, oh, excuse me, sir.
Well, that's why we take credit cards.
Right,
so you get kicked out, I can still close your tab out.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Fair. Yeah. And
sometimes you eat those tabs up.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's just not even. I'd rather get you the fuck out of here.
Either that or you just pickpocket them on the way out.
Yeah.
Oh, you left your wallet here in the scuffle. Oh, by the way, I paid your tab.
I won't lie. There's been someone I know that's totally not me that worked at a bar in Plymouth that threw someone's shit away when I kicked them out.
Definitely not you, though. Yeah,
definitely not me.
you.
It definitely wasn't at the BBC.
Yeah. And then
the statute of limitation, I'm sure, is over. For that. For throwing someone's shit away.
Don't back like a dickhead, and I won't throw your shit in the trash.
Yeah, it's fair. And
but
then
I threw
the
it
other
across
guy,
the street in the outside barrel. So.
Oh, he's not.
So it's just fucking gone.
Yeah, the town picked that up
you
first thing
go
in the
get
morning.
It? Yeah. Maybe. Well, it depends on how the town's feeling that day.
Yeah, that's true.
Those barrels are gross.
Yeah, no shit.
But that's also like we were having a not dissimilar conversation about like there's a certain amount of things where you like they did this to me or I did that to myself.
Yeah.
If someone threw your shit away like that.
Yeah.
Yep. It's called karma, man.
You did it.
You did it. Yeah, this is on you.
Street justice.
Yeah. But yeah, then
Dan
the other
Mahoney,
guy,
silent vigilante.
Yeah.
Yep. Not so silent.
Does he fight crime? Does he fight crime? Nobody will throw your stuff away.
I'm going to inconvenience you greatly.
Absolutely. And then the other, that's kind of like the other guy. When I kicked him out too, he only had one shoe on.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find his other shoe. Just go ahead and find my shoe. And I was like, I don't give a fuck about your shoe. I need you to get the fuck out. And he's like, well, what am I going to do with one shoe? I'm like, sounds like that's a you problem.
Yeah.
Like,
you can't stay here if you don't have shoes on.
Yeah.
Get out.
Killian was the best. She's like, yeah, go get a new pair, you stupid hey dudes.
I
actually sneaker joke. I don't know what a hey dude is.
It's a shoe.
Yeah.
It's a brand of shoe.
Okay.
It's their like slip-on type shoes, which is probably why it fell off in the first place.
Yeah.
But I actually came in the next day hoping that there would be a shoe on my bar because the cleaners, whenever they find stuff, they leave it on top of the bar.
Someone found it. And
they got it.
Yeah. It was under a table.
Sure. Oh, okay. I couldn't remember. So I was like, man, I really hope to see a shoe.
I was gonna say I'd be more like I'd be back there looking for it if no one's found the shoe yet.
Well, it's funny because like they got the main guys out. And I look, I'm like, Jess, that dude over there with no shirt on is also the guy that was just fighting people.
I was like, there's too many people.
Yeah.
We did a comedy show on the Pilgrim Bell the other night, and the comic was fucking hysterical. He kept so it's like inside the cabin. I don't know what the hell you'd call it, but like I think
it's called the cabin.
Okay, inside the cabin.
Inside the boat.
And then like boats would like go by super fast. He'd like fucking run outside on the cordless mic being like, slow the fuck down. Blah, blah. He's like, I don't care. If you don't have a shirt on at night, you're definitely drunk.
I was really hoping you were saying that the comedian threw somebody off the boat. That
No. No, he was rallying everybody to go invade Duxbury.
Ah.
Yeah.
Why?
Why not?
Why not?
Oh, what's in Duxbury?
Karens.
You know what it is?
It was there.
He's from New York and he Googled what's near Plymouth.
That actually is, I mean, it could have been a lot worse things. Like Kingston, and be like, oh, well, that's boring.
Yeah. I mean, they're all boring.
Because he said something about like what's the big rival town, and all I could think of is fuck Hanover because of the Thanksgiving movie.
Oh, yeah.
So
what's the rival in
it's
town?
Not Hanover's fault.
Plymouth is its own rival. Yeah. Have you read all things Plymouth? Everyone's constantly fighting each other on that fucking website.
And all they ask is, where can I get a salad?
It's so true, though.
Just moved to town. Who makes the best
I
salad?
feel bad for anyone that just moves to this fucking town.
It's always
and they're like, oh, I'm going to join this Facebook group because the one in my old town was so great. And that's how I'll find things.
No towns.
And they're
Facebook
like, hey,
group is
where's
great.
a good place to get oil change? Like, get fucked, buddy.
The Nazis wanted oil changes.
Yeah.
Like, how did we get here?
Yeah. This is all Biden's fault, like, for some reason. And then, like, you know, people just...
Where's the splash pad?
Yeah. But my favorite all things Plymouth story is the guy from Plymouth, England, that commented on... when they had that big debate about fucking Perry's Market down the street, a woman complained about, like, I think a Thanksgiving order she had put in, and she basically bashed Perry's Market.
Okay.
So that was like the hot topic of the week for some fucking reason, because the town, people they will latch on to a specific topic, and that one just happened to be it. People defending Perry's and all this stuff. So then this kid commented on it saying, I joined the Facebook group thinking that it was for Plymouth, England, and I've been pleasantly surprised to find out that it's definitely not. And so, like, so he starts commenting, and he's like, wow, this page is unreal, like, blah, blah, blah. I've just been sitting here watching all your comments. This is hilarious, right? Somebody, and I don't remember who, started a GoFundMe for this guy in Plymouth, England.
To come here?
To Plymouth, Mass. And guess what he did? Took the money and didn't come.
No, really? That's the most all things Plymouth I've ever heard in my life.
I respect the shit out of that guy. I wouldn't come here either.
That is so funny.
Yeah, that was
if your only
awesome
experience of this town is that Facebook group, I would
just
never.
robbed an entire town in
Especially
New
being
England.
from England, like, this is what all those, like, doomsday Hollywood movies fucking sound like.
No, that is like the most Robin Hood shit.
Yeah.
Like, I found the town of the worst human beings ever.
Yeah.
They rallied and gave me a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And I took it.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Demolition Man? Like, this old.
Oh my God, yeah.
Wesley Snipes and
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone, I think. And they show it like it's 1996 and like LA is a fucking war zone. Like, that's what this town looks like through the eyes of
Through
all
all
things
things,
Plymouth.
yeah, for sure.
I'm like, I wish, I mean, this happened, I want to say this happened like at least 3 years ago. Because I think it was like just kind of right when the world started to open again. So I think it was about 3 years ago this happened. I wish I could fucking
That's so
like
awesome.
find...
Guy's my hero.
Oh my God. It was so fucking funny. I can't believe he didn't come. It's like, yeah, dude, you just gave this dude a bunch of money.
It's not like
no
$100.
idea who he is.
Like,
Yeah.
that's
Like,
No, it was thousands of dollars.
to-
Like, it was
Yeah,
not.
flight from there is not cheap.
No.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And they're like, come to Perry's. And he's like, yeah, sure,
I
man.
can't imagine,
I'll do that.
Yeah, like your only exposure to Plymouth is the All Things Plymouth page, and your response is, yes, I never want to go. No. I'm never crossing the ocean. I'm done.
Like, I'm not dealing with jet lag to see you people.
So fucking
The revolution was a great idea. I don't want to. You're out.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are part of
why did we fight so hard for you?
I kind of want to find it only because I want to know if he did it. If he set up the GoFundMe.
He set up the GoFundMe?
Yeah, that'd be so much better.
Because then I'm thinking, like, how did he get the money if he didn't set up the GoFundMe? But somebody could have asked. Like, somebody's like, hey, like, I really want to do this for you. What's your bank account number?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
like,
good.
You know what I mean? Like, he had to have, right? Because I don't think he can set up a GoFundMe.
Maybe they transfer it to his PayPal or something?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't even know.
I send the money. He's like, I buy my tickets so much.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll buy my tickets.
Someone collected the money and Venmoed it to him.
Oh, it was so great. Good job, All Things Plymouth.
But more back on topic. What
our topic is today? Just fighting people?
Yeah, just fighting, doormen, bar fights.
Okay.
To be fair, I don't want to fight anybody else in the future, so please don't come at me.
So,
like,
reigning champion of New World Savage. She's been wearing this big, giant fucking gold belt the whole
Every time she
show.
walks in the door, a fucking bell rings.
Yeah. But when you're hiring a doorman, like what do you look for? What is like a red flag? Be like, that's not a fucking guy I want bouncing here. Like
anybody
on
that
where
kind
you
of
are.
is like a meathead, because they're probably just looking for trouble. Like we had that issue back in the T-Bones days.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what I mean?
weird. I've had so many door guys.
Yeah.
Like, but you want someone that's first instinct isn't, I'm going to hit this guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's, I guess,
I've
that's
had those
kinda
door
what
guys.
yeah.
And it's not fun.
Yeah. I mean, I used to have 10 of them on at a time.
Yeah. But then you don't want someone that's too timid that's going to
Yeah.
let, like, all the drunk people walk all over him, too. So, yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes it doesn't even, I mean, especially for, like, again, because we don't really have much happening here. Just look intimidating enough, right?
Yep.
That you don't want to start anything.
Though sometimes that's worse
True.
because they see the big giant guy and like, I'm
Well,
gonna
that's like,
fuck
I guess that's
this
like, it's like
fucking
a,
guy.
yeah, it's like a fine line. But like, that's why I love our guy, Chris, because he's tall. He's definitely like well built. He's muscled. The ladies love him because he's apparently very good looking. But he's got a ponytail, so that kind of takes away from it. Actually, no, he just cut it off. Good for you, Chris. And so he's very tall and he can look intimidating, but not to the point where he's like, yeah, man, I'll fuck this dude up.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah. You checking my ID? Why?
Yeah.
You steal my identity?
You don't believe me,
Fuck
bro?
you.
Yeah, I've been in places like at Last Call, and the door guy causes more issues
Oh,
just
yeah.
getting people out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and you're like, how did this devolve into a fucking borderline fight?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean by
Threats for the police showing up, and
yeah.
it's
That's what I mean by like a meathead. It's just like
It's probably one of the
want-
hardest things to interview for.
Yeah. What do you? Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
you
like,
almost-
I don't even interview. I'm like,
Do you like
are
arm wrestle them or?
Well, like the biggest, I think like, it's not so much you just gotta talk to them and try to get like a feel of their personality,
Yeah.
and like you gotta get them like throw them enough curveballs to get them out of like that rehearsed shit
Yeah.
and try to get a little feel for them. And
You
stuff
like your
like
mother's a whore. All right, you didn't push me.
yeah.
that. Just slap them across the face and see how they act.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough. I don't know.
I know. And then like the kid who filled in, like I was a little nervous about him filling in because he's like kind of young.
Yeah.
But then I saw him and he's like super tall. He definitely played linebacker in high school. Like
Yeah.
he's tall and he's
Big
built.
dude. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, that's totally fine. I don't care how old you are because you look okay. Like it's
Yeah.
fine. And then it's like, for like checking IDs and stuff, like even I don't even know what to look for sometimes anymore. So it's like we have the scanning app now.
Yep.
So he has it on his phone. He uses it for everybody that walks in the door, which is great. But yeah, like, do you know what the year is for someone who just turned 21? Like, how do you interview for that?
Yeah,
So-
can you do math right?
Yeah.
That's not like, I feel like the checking the IDs part, I don't want to say it's the easiest part, but like that's like probably lower on your totem pole than. I mean, it's all depends on where you're fucking working too. Like, from when I hired door guys for the BBC across the street from when we hired door guys for Boston, it's very different criteria right there. So
very different.
And I'm like, can you just read stuff?
I know. Yeah. Can you read?
I feel like a college town, you definitely have to be more focused on.
Well, the other thing is too is, you know, and we used to have this at T-Bones. I think they used to have it permanently at Main Street. I think they might have even had them permanently at East Bay and Waterfront for a while. Is a police detail.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really know of anybody that does it anymore, but when we just had our ABC meeting a few months ago at Town Hall, the police department was there and they just like said a few things and you know, they said, look, I'm not trying to make you guys spend any more money that you don't want to, but we can still offer a police detail if you want to pay for it for your business. Like that way things don't get out of hand.
I mean, in realistic terms, on a Friday, Saturday night, they're only like 12 feet away, standing like right down the corner anyways.
But so like this is more like inside.
Yeah. So they stand at your door.
Yeah.
They don't check your IDs, but they stand at your door.
Yeah.
So like, you know, when it was T-Bones, they stand in that little lobby.
Just kind of give you that like.
It's
just
tough
to know
with
that
those.
you're hey, we're here.
Yeah.
So if anything gets set off, you're getting put in handcuffs.
You can walk into a place though, like as a customer, and you see a police detail. I'm like, dude, is this the place I want to be? Because like they have
it's kind of a catch-22. Yeah.
So sometimes it's good like for a safety factor and all that, but like sometimes it can optics wise hurt.
I feel like if you need a police detail, you might want to reevaluate things. Like if it's that bad that you have to have
depends
one.
where you are. Like when I worked in Framingham, we used to have one, and that's just because that town is so strict on stuff. Like, they're probably one of the hardest like alcohol, like drunk driving laws. Like,
you have to get a specific tips bar certification for the town of Framingham.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you had to get the regular one, and then you had to go to the police station and get an ID card on. It was the biggest pain in the fucking ass.
No shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So there are liquor laws in there. It's because it's a college town.
I think it's because it's on Route 9 and stuff like that. I have no idea though.
Right.
It's just
I don't know either. It's just so random.
It's the only place I've ever heard that does.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't know of any other towns in Massachusetts that do that kind of thing. But it depends too, because if you don't. I don't know. Like, no one's really going to start. I mean, I'm going to eat my words on that one because no one's really going to start anything if the police are there. But the police hang out in front of Main Street and Proof and all that stuff all the time, and shit still fucking happens.
The biggest, during St. Patrick's Day parade, there's so many Boston police officers all around. And it's for that reason. And there'll still be people fist fighting out in front of them and stuff. Like, what the fuck? So
too hopped up on Jameson.
They're gonna drinking their Borgs.
Yeah.
Do you know what a Borg is, Andy?
It's from Star Trek?
No.
That's a cyborg, but
no, it's a Borg.
Whatever, we're not going to argue.
Nerd fight. A Borg is like, they take one of like 2-gallon jugs, whatever the milk jugs are. It's called a blackout rage gallon.
Yeah. I think I saw
fucking might be my favorite name for anything ever, but I never want to deal with it.
I saw one of those fucking ABC News, like, your children are drinking, one of those like fear.
I'll tell you right now, your children are drinking them.
Newsflash.
All the fucking teenage kids walking around St. Patrick's Day Parade have them and stuff like that.
God.
And I was talking to someone that was like,
what's in them again? I know what you're talking about, but I can't
think
remember.
it's like whatever, vodka, Gatorade, water. It's something like, so you're supposed to.
So it's a rejuvenator?
Pretty much. It sounds like it, yeah. I forget.
We used to just call this like party punches.
Yeah, but you never carried around your own jug. Like it's you drink.
You don't know me.
Fair.
My best friend in high school used to have.
Oh, there they go. No,
someone died from their Borgs.
It was like this. I don't know where the fuck he got it. It was part of like a 1970s like punch bowl set. So like all the glasses were like little mugs, but the punch bowl was this giant fucking like mug with a wooden handle, and we would just make like a giant party punch, and he'd wander around, and he'd drink from it. Everyone else would drink from it.
I see people that make like bathtub punches or like sink punches.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like they're dumping like
Bathtub punch kind of sounds
listen,
icky.
that is just
I don't want to drink out of any appliance.
thank you. But like they're pouring like literal bags of like candy, and it looks like you're just gonna fucking go into a diabetic shock and die from drinking it. And there's like 16 fucking bottles of booze and fucking Sunny D, like anything that contains the most sugar on the face of the planet, and then they dump in all these bags of like Sour Patch Kids, and they're like, "This is a party punch." I'm like, that's a party sugar punch in your face.
A party when you have to take a shot of insulin every day.
Ours was usually just like high C, maybe some juice, and then like more often than not Everclear.
I'm so glad Everclear is illegal in Massachusetts because I would be dead.
Well, my buddy went to college in Connecticut, so he brought it back. Well, and there was something else that he brought
Connecticut's
back too.
a bullshit state anyway. So
Yeah,
I can't remember what the fuck it was, but he would bring it back, and it was like god awful.
He was just like boot smuggling Everclear.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you can get it in Rhode Island too.
It was college.
You can?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that sounds fucking nasty. I don't think I would do a sink
No,
Everclear.
That's gross.
Take some toilet wine.
Yeah.
In that prison?
I know, right?
So sometimes life's a prison, Andy. Especially when you don't have your Borg.
Yeah.
Borg.
Thank you.
Got it.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Fucking
Fish hasn't really talked much today.
Nah.
When does Fish talk
When do I
much?
talk?
I know.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to chime in on the Star Trek.
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
usually the first thing where he's like, well, technically you're both wrong. Burr, 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 burr.
I was actually looking up what was in Borg.
Yeah, before he set his phaser to stun. Stunning you with facts, Andy.
What? Oh, I'm like, I thought you were doing sign language over there. It's like, I don't know that.
You just told me to steal second base.
Yeah.
Second base.
Watch out, Andy. That's rape.
It's baseball.
We know you don't play baseball.
Did you get consent? That's all.
Yeah. Did you at least get her name, Andy? Did you give her your
See, I don't
real
even know
one?
enough baseball to make like
Your
a second
real
base joke, like a second baseman joke.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine.
So, Fish is here. We're going to make baseball jokes.
Right, yeah.
yeah.
And apparently rape jokes. Because that's what he's into.
Look, we gotta keep this train rolling somehow.
Yeah. Fill that dead air.
Show up every 6 months and all of a sudden I'm a baseball loving rapist.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan.
Hey, it's fine.
Thanks.
I'm sure there's plenty other baseball rapists out there.
Yeah.
Is
Jordan.
it better to be a rapist loving baseball player then?
Let's
Nothing good about any of this.
no. Well, let's just move on and pretend none of this happened. None of this is happening.
He's gonna bleep that whole thing out.
How about them Olympics, guys?
Speaking of rape, they have the cardboard sex beds.
Oh, I was waiting for you to make
I'm
a
like,
gymnastics
what?
joke. I thought we were going
The
deep
hell's a
cut.
cardboard sex bed?
They have the anti-sex beds in
Yeah.
the Olympics.
They've been doing it for years.
Yeah. The
Like-
first one they did it was the last Olympics, and the beds are literally made out of cardboard so that to prevent the athletes from having sex.
They get wet, they crumble.
Why is this a concern?
Because apparently Olympian athletes are horny as fuck.
Well, I knew that. Like,
Giant STD fest.
Yes.
You get
Yeah.
tested for a lot of things, Andy, at the Olympics. But
apparently not
STDs ain't
STDs.
one of
One
them.
of them.
Test positive for
just seems
steroids,
like a weird thing for them to
chlamydia.
focus.
Although they were saying they were trying, I think I just read the news yesterday that like Paris is trying to say, oh well, we did it because it's a waste to have all these extra mattresses and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, nah, man, it's to prevent them from having sex. You don't have to cover it up
And,
with something else.
Like, these are all incredibly athletic.
Very good.
They could probably do it.
looking,
They could probably
very
do standing up.
athletic.
So these are a bunch of people who are hyper athletic, hyper competitive,
Yeah.
and you've challenged them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
But you're making
listen,
the problem worse.
I don't know if they understand that you can have sex in more places than a bed,
Yeah.
like a floor.
They just live in cardboard boxes.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest, the gymnastics area is just covered in mats.
Yep.
And I'm sure, again,
gross.
gymnasts don't need a bed. They can
No.
just aerial.
You know,
You
just
know.
hang out. You know, one
Listeners, you missed the hand motion that went along with that. It's pretty good. I wish you saw that.
Do you think if like they bang in one of the Olympic areas, they go up to the scores table after and fucking judge it out?
Sure. Yeah. Points.
Why wouldn't you?
Hey, here's the question.
Points for a dismount.
Use the tools you're given, right?
Right. Yeah.
You think after you finish, if you win, you get your national anthem played?
Ooh, maybe.
Depends on if you finish.
It's always the dude's national
Right,
anthem.
yeah.
He's like, I'm the winner. And she's like, are you?
You didn't even last as long as this stupid song.
Yeah. But there's videos of them like literally jumping up and down on these cardboard boxes, and they're just like they're just sturdy as fuck, apparently.
So
then
they're
Dirty
what-
as fuck.
Right, yeah. So, hey-oh. But yeah, so then it's like, all right, so now you're just
you're like the
giving-
cardboard sex beds, and I'm like, what fucking
Yeah.
weird shit
It's
do
true.
you Google on Pornhub? Like, no, I thought it was like a
You don't want to know that search
I
history
thought it was
for
like
her.
a bed
Right.
designed for sex, not
an anti-sex bed.
Yeah,
Excuse me, I didn't put the anti in front of
yeah.
it.
No,
but,
I'm sorry.
you know.
I wasn't.
Well, it's clearly not stopping them because
Huh.
these cardboard beds apparently
fucking
can
20. Like, what can you do to stop them?
right.
Yeah.
Nothing. These kids are on their own. They're good
Pioneers
looking,
used to sew
athletic.
them into their beds.
Yeah, yeah.
And that didn't work.
Just don't give them beds. Just
Yeah.
have them sleep in coffins.
nailed shut.
Sleep like
Yeah.
bats upside down.
There you go. I don't know.
So welcome to Bar Talk, the
in my
Olympic
Pornhub
review
search,
show.
I've seen some ones that people hang upside down.
True. That's why you got that
All right,
van.
I'm definitely
I know,
not checking let's do last call. This got weird. This got weird.
Fuck it.
Last call is where we go around and oh god, around the table, and you guys can say whatever you want. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Let's start with Fish because I don't think
Way
we're-
different than when we do the rest of the episode.
I know, right? Fish gone,
Please.
please.
Okay, so now for something completely different. This Sunday at Mayflower Brewing Company, we
This
have our
isn't going to
small
be
press-
out before Sunday.
Yes, it is.
He's the sound guy. He can
that's
put it out
true.
whenever he
On
wants.
Thursday.
This is going out Thursday.
Just saying.
Like, I know when the episode's going on. Just I have one fucking job.
Listen,
He's the only
I've been
guy.
lied to before by the both of you, so I don't need to.
So anyway, this Sunday at Mayflower Brewing Company. We
Start over.
All right, last call. This is the part where we go around the table and you get to plug whatever you want. Fish, you're up.
All right, this Sunday at Mayflower Brewing Company, we have our second annual Small Press Expo.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Pages and Pints.
Pages and Pints. Andy, how many writers do we have signed up right
we
now?
have over 20. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head.
Over 20 writers and small publishers this year.
No, but we do have a
Bookstore?
at least
Sounds like Andy
one-
doesn't know anything about this. I'm just kidding.
It's books, Jesse. He doesn't
Are
read.
you kidding? Are you kidding? I know everything about it other than what he's reading off the thing.
I'm reading off nothing.
Can't
Other
see.
than
Can't touch
we
to that.
have, I think it's one or two mom and pop shops.
Bookstores?
Yeah.
Very cool. It is running 12 to 4 at Mayflower this Sunday. And come on down. And unlike Andy, buy a book.
Wow. Way to make fun of the dyslexic guy. Real nice.
Yeah, well, you open the door.
Dyslexic people can read.
They just read backwards.
Kind of historically, not really.
I feel like
I mean,
they
we
could
kinda-
come a long way in training brains. They just can't do it for lazy dyslexic people.
Yeah, sure. Dan,
Come to my new TED Talk on lazy
Dyslexia?
dyslexic people. Where if you just hold the book upside down, you can read it backwards.
Yeah.
not how any of that works.
In a mirror?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cross-eyed.
No,
With one eye open
no.
on one leg. If you do it when you've been drinking too much and you see double,
Ah, that's the
I
key.
feel like that's the closest you've got.
you may not be able to read one sentence, but if you see four of that sentence, you're bound to get most of the words.
This is a research facility. He's trying to figure this out.
So this
He
is
goes,
Dan's
yeah.
dyslexia research?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's my new institution. That's
Hope it
it.
goes well.
I
for
guess
you.
that's it. Jess?
I don't really know. We've kind of come to the end of our season as far as like events and stuff. But I know we have a bong painting with you.
You got Family Feud. It's on the poster right there.
No.
Why? You canceled it?
Yeah.
Rip the poster down then.
I
It's
just
false
fucking
advertising.
got here. No, but we are going to do it again in September. I think it's events for us in the summer sometimes are a little tough. So.
Oh my God. We have sold 6 tickets to all of our events this week. So like,
I think
they're all getting like shit canned.
Yeah. So
it's supposed to rain this week. No, you never know.
I hope it doesn't rain on
Those fucking people should have watched the weather and bought some tickets in advance.
I know. Yeah. It's true.
So I'm not driving to Mashpee for 2 people.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, ever since that strip club went away, there's no reason to go.
I drove by it yesterday. I was like, oh, R.I.P.
Zachary's before.
I was going to say Alex. That's not Alex.
Stoughton.
Yeah.
That's still there.
Zachary's.
Jess, I'm sorry for your loss.
I know.
Dan, you're in
I think if we're going to start a petition for anything, let's start a petition. Let's start a petition to get Zachary's back. That's my last call.
Jess's last call.
Bring back legs and eggs.
Pride of Cape Cod.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to plug our friends at America's Hometown Horror. If you like horror movies, horror theme shit. They do drafts. Like they pick their 5 favorite horror movies from whatever topic. They do haunted attractions, and they actually were nice enough to have me on an episode recently. I have no idea when it's going up because I don't really know their publishing schedule, but check it out. They're good dudes, and it's a lot of fun. But you can. He's just waiting to stop me. He's got his hand on the trigger,
right?
It's like I'm doing my job.
It's like he's doing his job.
But you can find us on all social medias at BarTalkCast. You can email us at bartalkcast@gmail.com with your questions, complaints, yada, yada, yada. Maybe we'll answer your question.
Yada, yada,
Maybe
yada.
we'll read your question and then not answer, which is far more likely. But
Maybe we'll say mean things about you. Who knows?
Well, that's...
Definitely will.
That's definitely.
Yeah.
I really want to see some hate mail.
That's it. I did my part. I don't know.
I just want to say I really want to see some hate mail.
Okay, just want to see some hate mail.
So send it my way.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/inebriart to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at inebriart.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at inebriart or at inebriart6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebriart, and all the other shows on the Inebriart Network, which you can find at inebriart.com. Thanks again for listening.